How would your organization be more profitable if you had an effective negotiating team? How would your life be different if you were a more effective negotiator? Perhaps you're already a bold negotiator. You come to the table ready to win and beat the competition no matter what the cost. Or you're on the other end of the spectrum and you hate negotiation. You come to the table expecting to be devoured. Regardless of what end of the spectrum you're on, your personality type or your negotiation style, you're going to be glad you're here today, because we're going to give you a process. We're going to give you tools that'll put a smile on your face and money in your pocket. Because you'll learn what I've learned negotiating with multi-million-dollar companies internationally, that it's about two views, yours and your counterpart. And when you negotiate with respect, you have a plan, you ask the right questions, and you listen, great things happen. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So who has more power in a negotiation, the buyer or the seller? I'm often asked that question. A colleague of mine ran a study, did a poll with buying organizations, and he asked them who has more power in the negotiation. And by far, hands down, they said the sales side. He asked the same question from sales organizations. Who has more power in the negotiation, the buyer or the seller? And again, it was hands down unanimous, the buy side. Who has more power in negotiation? The person with the most information has the most power. There's your first best idea of the day. Write that down. Let's do a little example of that. You're the sales organization and you sell widgets. Your widgets are part of a bigger widget for your customer. You've got a proposal that you've put together. Your team has worked diligently. You know the cost implications. You know all your alternatives. You know what the quality is that's going to be in this widget. And you bring the proposal into the buyer and you set it down in front of her, and she looks at it and says, I can get the same thing cheaper. Who has more power in that negotiation? It might be helpful for you to know that that buyer has a big order for their widgets, which is they need your parts for. It's $1 million order, but they got to deliver it in 3 months. You've done your homework. You know what your competition is, and there's 2 of them. Might be helpful to know that one of those competitors is shut down for 4 weeks for preventative maintenance. It might also be helpful to know that the other competitor is bigger than you and could produce them cheaper because they have economies of scale, but they're fully booked for 4 to 6 months. Who has more power in a negotiation? The power is with the person with the most information.